This thing here arrived, and this is the ACEMAGIC N150 mini PC, guys. I don't really test a lot of mini PCs on the channel, but I think it's about time me starting this because I do actually use a lot of those mini devices all over my house. What is so special about the new ACEMAGIC N150 Vista mini PC? For starters, it's equipped with the latest Intel Twin Lake N150 CPU that was just released a couple of months ago. This unit here has 16 gigs of RAM, M.2 SSD, half a terabyte storage, also USB 3.2 ports, also other USB ports, HDMI ports and Ethernet ports. It's actually a whole mini PC that is built for you to enjoy classical desktop experience, streaming YouTube videos, of course, with 4K resolution, and we're gonna be testing this. Ta-da! And this is the product itself. Oh wow! You can see it really has a very nice, almost like metallic design. Here, guys, we do have a power button, USB 3.2, 2 ports, and also audio, right? When we turn it to this side here, this is the back side, we have the ventilation, very cool. And on the back, guys, here, kindly note, for better setup, avoid LAN initially, connecting might trigger long updates and etc. and delay. We do have an HDMI and a display port that should support 4K 60, 2 additional USB ports, and here, guys, is where you stick the power. So it's a Megatrends. The process information all checks out. The Alder Lake ULX, it's Intel N150. Total memory that we have here, guys, is 16GB. I will now enter back in the desktop and walk you through everything that this machine can do. N150, guys, is built on a 10nm process and has 4 cores, 4 threads, and it can go up to 3.6 GHz. So let's check the information. Intel Core, Alder Lake. Now, guys, the version that I have works with 15 watts. We have DDR4, 16 gigabytes, guys. That's a single chip, which means that we are using a single channel, so no dual channel here. This unit has an integrated GPU by Intel that has 24 execution units, right? So you can see there are still a bit of a details here. I'm running this on a 4K resolution. If I click from the display settings to adjust my resolution, you can see that I'm running the mini PC already at 3840 at 2160, which is the recommended one. I'm using a 32-inch screen. Also, we have the option to choose HDR, because what Intel did with the N150, right, it supports the latest AV1 codecs, 4K HDR 60 FPS. So I'm gonna start with the first one. That is a sample video by Sony. Let's just see how this thing is gonna run. All right, you can see it's not that bad at all, but it's just impressive what this thing can do. 4K HDR, play it, absolutely not a problem at all. Let's try to minimize this. All right, I can just maximize, minimize. Of course, sometimes it's gonna be these small lags. Also, what I wanna check while displaying this video is temperature and some other things. So right now we do have like 27, 28 on the assembly, guys, and we do have something like 44 on the cores. And just take a look at this, guys, right? It's consuming 6-7 watts, and I can also try to put it on the big screen. So for home theater purposes, guys, if you want to enjoy 4K 60 and be able to use 10-bit HDR and also AV1, yeah, this thing will fly. So I did scan this extensively. I wasn't able to find anything else. I installed Bitdefender, ClamWin, and I scanned also this thing with Defender offline, and then of course I'm also using Malwarebytes just to make sure that everything is safe. And now I'm showing you the results. Then I use the ClamWin, and by the way, this thing is really slow, but anyway, free to use. Nothing here discovered in the memory with this thing here. I did first a full scan directly from Windows, but then I did also an offline shot, and this is what I did with the Malwarebytes. But when I was checking with Malwarebytes, guys, I also used the latest Microsoft Windows malicious software removal tool to make sure that there isn't anything fishy. And from what I've seen, yeah, I can confirm that this thing is clean. Let's go back and continue my testing. The unit comes with a half a terabyte SSD drive, but What we need to know is that you can just open the box, remove what we have there and put a bigger, I think up to 2 terabytes NVMe. And here we are with all rounds, and you can see that the highest read speed was 561 megabytes and the write speed was 503 megabytes per second. Night rate, where we have DirectX test for PCs with integrated graphics, because remember here guys, we have the latest Intel integrated GPU with 24 execution units, 4,894 the overall night rate score, the graphics score well above 5,317 and the CPU score 3,375. Let's check the detailed monitoring. This thing here is the FPS well aligned with the CPU temperature, the GPU load and the CPU utilization, and also we can see the CPU clock frequency. In this section we were running almost with a max clock of 3.6 gigahertz. The GPU load was 99%, the CPU 52 in terms of utilization, and we got almost like 30 FPS with a CPU temperature at 54 Celsius, which is just impressive considering the fact that we are only burning 15 watts maximum. I got 1213 on the single core score and 2837 on the multi-core score. What can we do with this? And of course the first thing I'm gonna start is browsing, because yeah, a lot of people are doing browsing, and I'm going to use the Speedometer 3.0 test to assess the browsing capabilities. Why is this important? Because remember, a lot of people will buy this mini PC, right, just to use it as a lightweight desktop computer. And the overall score that I'm getting here is 10.2. Is this 10.2 good or bad? So here on the Tech Power Up side, you can see, for example, an old machine running Windows 7 with 16 GB of RAM, and the machine is clocked at 4.5 gigahertz, right? Is getting like 4.56. But let's say an M1 MacBook Air with Safari will get you almost like double the performance. I've loaded up the video. I'm just gonna mute the sound. I'm gonna put it on the full screen so that we can experience what is happening. And see here down below, guys, it says HD, but I'm gonna click on the quality toggle and I'm going to select 2160p 64K. And because this is my desktop test, I want to see what happens when I just minimize it and drag it around, so you can see no lags whatsoever. I can also click here, guys, and click on a new desktop and end up with having another desktop. According to the description, should really use AV1 codec. So now it's HD. I'm gonna go here. I'm going to select again the highest resolution. Let's wait for the stream to stabilize. I can already go and click on the stats for nerds, and wow, yeah, now let's try to enjoy it. I'm gonna go, of course, and put it on a full screen, guys, because remember, I am using also 4K resolution, right? And the promise is that you should be able to watch 4K videos with 60 FPS with HDR, and from what I see on the screen right now, I can confirm this is the case, not only for streaming, but as we've seen before in the video, for local playback. Yes, there's gonna be some occasional frame drops, as we can see here, but connection speed is not a bottleneck anymore, and you can pretty much see that we have a healthy buffer, and we are able to observe all these nice color in a 4K crazy good resolution. All right, now let's dive deep in our office experience, and the first thing I'm gonna start, of course, is MS Word. So guys, let's start with some templates here. All right, let's say this is a nice one. Pictures, this device. I'm gonna go to the desktop, and I guess that's the bird. All right, we can insert it. Yeah, and it's going to work quite nice, by the way. You can see it's not a problem at all. We can also try to format it a bit. All right, just apply some shadows or some effects. All right, now what I want to do is take the picture and put it here. All right, can we do absolutely anything we can? Yep. Yeah, and as you can see, it works quite okay. Now, can we do Word and the PowerPoint window by window? Yes, we can. All right, and this is one of the main benefits of using a 32-inch screen. What about Excel? All right, Excel is here as well. You can see how quick this loads. And by the way, we can also explore some templates online. So this is a personal budget, right? Can we just go and try to copy and paste this? We can of course do this. Let's just try to copy the whole sheet. I'm going to create a copy. It's there. All right. Yeah, I don't think that this is going to be a problem. Just try to hear something. You can, right? because it's really very quiet. GTA 5, because this thing is really huge. It's hundreds of gigabytes, and it's, yeah, a AAA game. I understand, right? It's an old one, but hey, it's important to see if we can run apparently old games on a PC like this. And to make things even better for us, I'm going to use the statistics here. And to spice up things a bit and just make it more comfortable for me, I'm also going to map my Nintendo Pro Controller to the box directly, because the Vista Mini PC has also an integrated Bluetooth. So I'm doing a free spin for you guys, and you can see that I am already maxing 15 watts, guys. And we can also see that the CPU clock is almost 3 gigahertz. But I'm running this game right now on full HD. It's 1920 by 1080p. Let's try to bring down the resolution to 720p. And as we can see, we are already at 30 FPS. And yes, this is a rather old game, but it's still a AAA game. So if you want to occasionally play old AAA games with the Vista Mini PC, I don't think that you're going to have any issues with this. Of course, if you are willing to take the lower resolution. Now I'm gonna show you some emulation, because I know that a lot of people will be particularly interested into emulating old games. And for that purposes, I'm going to show you RetroArch with some of the favorite games from my childhood. I'm lucky to report that with RetroArch, I'm absolutely able to play the game, and I also map my controller. Alright, and I dumped all my bombs, but just to be able to show you guys some nice and cool graphics. Alright, still a bit more? Okay, cool. You're not supposed to do this until you reach the boss level, but I just wanted you to get a good taste on the graphics. Still stable 60 FPS. 21% CPU usage, I don't think it's a problem. 51% GPU usage, guys. The emulation of various console generations should not be a big of an issue for the Vista Mini PC, guys. And if you want to relive your childhood memories and play Cadillac and dinosaurs, well, this might be the right machine for you. So this was my review of the ACEMAGIC Vista Mini PC with the Intel N150. It's available on Amazon for like 200 USD, and it's very important to know that I did spend some time to make sure that, yeah, there are no unpleasant surprises on this thing. If you have been watching my video, the first part is all about scanning this device and making sure that nothing really fishy, like malwares, it's pre-installed. And although you might think that for such a small thing you'll not have a fast desktop experience, well, my review showed that it's absolutely acceptable. Like, you will not notice any lags if you're doing standard desktop things. What about gaming? Yes, sure, this is not a gaming mini PC, but I was able to run GTA 5 at HD resolution at around like 30 FPS, which I believe is quite acceptable being a game that is so huge, although old. Also, emulation, not a problem at all, which only hints that with the integrated Intel GPU with 24 execution units, you should be good with emulating different console generations and also playing indie games or lightweight games. Remember, when you just buy something with an operating system pre-installed, make sure to always check what is inside. You have a lot of options, and most of them are even free or have a trial period, like Total AV, like the Bitdefender, like the Malwarebytes, and also the Microsoft Defender allows offline scanning. And you can also do what I did, just download the Kaspersky Rescue Disk image, put it on a USB stick with Rufus, and then scan all the partitions. But I do understand that a regular, or let's say an average user, will not really like to do those things. So that's why it's very important for the manufacturers like ACEMAGIC and everybody out there to provide a clean image, right? Because security is priority number one. We store so many things on those devices, then the consequences could be very unpleasant, not only for your online, but also for your offline life. So again, my advice is, guys, if you buy a mini box like this, make sure it's all set. I also gave you some tips on how to just dump all the drivers, get rid of the Windows here and put your own, right? And I will understand if you're lazy or just don't know how to do this, because it's not your job to know how to do this. These PCs should always come clean. To sum up my experience, I'm very happy with the ACEMAGIC Vista mini PC. I will probably keep this one for myself. I'm not sure, maybe a Plex server, maybe something else, or maybe just an emulation machine. Anyway guys, if you have liked this video, just go and watch some of my other stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, VST over and bye.